A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this session, I'm going to be talking about, as you saw in the title and in the thumbnail, I am a slave for you, or I'm a slave for you. And you see the picture of Britney Spears over there. So in this session, we are not only going to discuss about the life of Britney Spears, what's happening in her life, and why is this session important for all the light worker community, for the star seeds, for the twin flames, for the divine masculine who are in separation, all those people who could probably be back in contact, but they are still doing inner work. They're healing a lot of their wounds. Inner work will never stop. Inner work is a lifestyle. Ascension is a lifestyle, but they are healing some very deep wounds, and one of those wounds could also be narcissistic abuse. In this session, we're also going to share how the urge of falling in love, how the urge of being in love with someone can give a person so much power that they're ready to fight against the whole world for it, to be in love, to be with the person they love. That is the power of love, okay? But I hope that she is able to heal the narcissistic abuse pattern from her life, so that she also attracts a right partner, because mostly people who have been abused by narcissistic adults or used by narcissistic adults in their life, whole life, childhood and whole life, they also tend to attract the narcissistic partner who is very damaging for their self-esteem. Now in the twin flame journey, all those people who are in separation, especially, I would like to say that the feminines mostly feel that the divine masculine is a narcissistic person, or they see a lot of the traits in them which have the narc traits, okay? So why this happens, why this abuse is now becoming a global issue, because I know a lot of people are covering this story, a lot of people are talking about Britney Spears' conservatorship and how it is not fair, but I don't think anyone is going to see it from the perspective of NPD, ascension journey, love, inner work, from the perspective of fake and authentic reality, 3-dimensional, 5-dimensional reality. That where did Britney get this power from? She got this power because she's fallen in love with a man with whom she wants to spend her whole life with, and she wants to have a child with him. And this desire has made her to fight against this conservatorship, which otherwise she has been in for 12 years. For 12 years she's been in this conservatorship. Since 2008 she's been there in it. And it was temporary at the beginning, but then it became permanent. And why is it so important for every single person who's on the ascension journey, or they are in the journey of becoming a better person, attracting a better life for themselves, how important it is for them to heal NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, even if they don't have it, but if they have been victimized by someone who has this disorder, it's very important for them to heal it. Because when the abuse comes from someone very close to you, very dear to you, when you've been scapegoated by other people so that their image is in good shape and good place, and when your partner turns out to be a narcissistic abuser, what should you do? How should you heal it? And what about the proxy siblings? In this case also there are proxy siblings, and otherwise generally also it happens that if the narcissistic parent, adult, raises an empath and another child, then normally the empath is the victim and the other children are the proxy narcs. So let's get into this, and let's intend that this session is not only going to be fruitful for the twin flame community, but otherwise also it can spread and share some mental health awareness. So Britney Spears' mother had written a book called Through the Storms, and in that book she had mentioned that looking back, I'm almost positive staying with Jamie, who's her husband and Britney Spears' father, was not the right thing to do for the kids. It's already in the media that he's also an alcoholic and he has substance abuse problem. So when the conservatorship goes into the hands of a person who is any which way not himself in the right space, if he is addicted to alcohol, then because this is what they showed to the world, that Britney is not fit to do her work. Mentally, she is not fit to take care of her money, finances herself. Now, when you listen to the testimony that she has given in the court, it really shows how much pain she has been in.
The people who did that to me should not be able to walk away so easily. Ma'am, I'm not here to be anyone's slave.
Now, this talks about the influence that celebrities have on other people, especially young girls, young boys, people who are of the impressionable mindset. They can easily get influenced, they can easily get programmed. So when she was making these songs like Toxic, if you check the lyrics of this song, in all these type of songs, the woman is being shown as someone very desperate for a man. And this is not even for the man's love or something about him that is very wise or very kind, or he's a nurturing man, or he's taking care of other people. He's a good provider for others also, not just for his family and himself. So this is not looking at those qualities, but it's looking at just his body. All these songs also show us a lot of a clubbing culture, that all people should go to the clubs, they should get drunk, they should dance over there, and they should find a partner, they should have sex, they should enjoy. This is what these songs normally depict. If you really want to look at the real Britney Spears, then she's the one who's telling in a court testimony that I don't want to be your slave. This is exactly opposite of the song that she sang. Now let's come to proxy siblings. Now the proxy siblings basically learn everything from their narc parents, and they are the enablers. If you want to know the difference between the enabled child, the enabled victim, and the neglected victim, it's always the neglected victim who does all the housework. They will be good at chores, they will be taking care of the siblings, and very soon they will be put into a system of earning money for the family. They will have to be the responsible child of the family. And the narc parents know very well that the proxy child will be under my control, will definitely do whatever I like, would be like my shadow, but this other one is not easy to control. So I need to teach or groom this child in such a way that they feel that family is their utmost responsibility, which is not wrong. Family should come first, we should take care of our families. But then if the family is taking you into a direction which is full of vanity, which is full of ego, which is full of showing off your wealth to others, how many fancy cars you have, how many fancy houses you have, and all these enabled child, they normally haven't done anything of their own. So they take whatever comes from the parents, whatever comes from the others, or even the victimized elder child of the family. And the woman's position is always like, she's there to please the men. She wants to please the men, but that is not the ideal way a woman should be seen as. A woman is not supposed to be objectified. Even men should not be objectified, but more so women, because she is the mother. But unfortunately, the world we live in, here songs like Toxic, songs like I'm a Slave for You, and many more such songs. If you look at the lyrics of the song WAP by Cardi B, I mean to say, like, is that really a song? That's not even a song. They keep in touch with the abused victim also, even though they don't take any stand, they don't see their pain, they don't see anything until and unless it falls onto them, which is what we call karma. So most of the times we have seen that karma also plays a very important role. Normally, who are very keen in the ascension journey, it is being seen and noticed that they have very less karmic baggage as compared to others. So for the first half of their childhood, they are just like any other child, just trying to understand the world. But later on, the memory they have about where they are from, who they are, which planet, which galaxy they have come from to Earth, what is their Earth mission, what is their purpose on Earth, they forget all of that. And then the next years become the foundation years, where the abuse takes place. Normally in the second half of the childhood, the abusers attack them at that time. And then after the age of 7, and then in adolescence also, then puberty, a lot of experiences are formed based on these energies around them, the negative implants and the negative entities, they create a certain type of energy grid for them, and based on that energy grid they create upcoming experiences and situations. And this is the reason why we always tell that all those people who are in this journey, their real growth will always start in their late 20s, because this is how it is predestined for them already. You can also study human design to get more clarity about this, and you will realize that some kind of projectors are born without any karma. They have zero karma, but still they go through a lot of abuse. It's only for other people they choose to do it. It's only for planet Earth's upliftment and ascension they do it. And I don't want anyone to feel very superior after listening to this, or in some cases inferior. We are supposed to actually live in a reality of being in the middle ground. If you get too excited about something, that will give you pain. In fact, pain and pleasure, they are the two sides of the same coin. A lot of people crave pleasure because they are scared of pain. They want to protect themselves from pain. They will act as if, yeah, they are too much in pain. Oh my God, so much pain. They keep talking about how much pain they've taken in life, but they technically haven't, especially if they are the enabled child. So whether you are an enabled child or whether you are the neglected child, in both the cases the narcissistic parents is doing harm. Because in case of one child, they have given them too much freedom, too many illusions, too many delusions, too much support. They've been smothered by love, and all they need is a yes, yes mommy, yes daddy type of a child who's constantly saying yes, 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 and they cannot make a single decision of their own. And this is also the reason why they never also find true love. And this is why I say narcissistic parent is not good for anyone, because to the enabled child also they will take away all the control. They cannot decide anything. Even if they know that something is correct, something is the most authentic thing to do, something is coming from their soul, from their heart space, even if they know that, but the decision making will be extremely poor, they will keep on making wrong decisions. The narcissistic parent sometimes also wants the child all for themselves, him or her. It could be the mother, it could be the father. So they always live in a huge insecurity that if my child finds true love, if my child gets married or if my child gets engaged or whatever, if they find love, they are not going to be with me. So they look at that partner or that person as an enemy, as a threat. And which is why they poison the minds, they brainwash the child, and they make the child believe that this person is not the right person for them. And thus the child is also again into toxic relationships. They are okay with toxic people because they feel that the toxic people cannot last very long around them. So eventually my child, my boy, my son, my daughter, in some cases, they'll always be with me, always do as I say, always be in my control, basically a slave. They spoon feed the child with a lot of materialistic love. And this is another reason why a lot of divine masculines are so full of lust. They are all about intercourse, they're all about sex, they're all about fun, they're all about games, they're all about collecting things, useless things. They're all about the money, all about the show off. Even if, for physical strength also they are big show offs. They always use their physical strength in a very toxic way to scare others, to control other people, to control men and women. And another reason why such men turn out to be abusive partners. Some of them are emotionally, mentally abusive. Some of them are also physically abusive. And that's why in Twin Flame journey, later on a lot of people find out that the person they were enamored with is the one who has caused them so much pain, so much torture, emotional torture for years. For years, they don't apologize. For years, they can act as if they are the right people always. They never want to be wrong. There is no scope for improvement or work or any spiritual maturity. Spiritually, they will stay immature. So that from that perspective, even the enabled child is not in good hands. The empaths are slightly more lucky because, they are doing so much for others. Somehow, if you do things for others, you sacrifice for others, it comes back to you. If the empathetic child grows up, I mean spiritually growing up, not just bodily or materialistically, when they progress in the 5-dimensional reality, when they touch the 5-dimensional reality, they are no longer stuck with 3D people, 3D relationships, not codependent at all. That's when they inspire others, because they are bringing out this energy for everyone to feel, basically, that I can be an independent person. I don't need to be in relationships that are full of pleasing, formalities. Writing letters, writing a love note for someone is bigger than a gift. These things are very loving in nature. But if this is a tactic, if this is being used as a tactic by people, by especially men and even women, they feel that if I gift something to someone, something expensive to someone, something nice to someone, they're going to be so impressed with me. And this is what a lot of women do when they get trapped into relationships. They always say that my husband or my lover, initially they used to buy me so many presents, they used to give me so many flowers, so many bouquets, but look at them now, they don't even care about me, whether I exist or not. The same person who was wishing me all the time for every single small or big festival, the same person doesn't even remember the anniversary date. These are all the 3D complaints that women have. But once you move to 5-dimensional reality, then you yourself feel like certain things are just waste of time. Because if someone loves you truly, they will very easily be able to see the love you have for them, especially when they are healed and they are content. Otherwise, they will be living in constant negativity, constant fear, and their ego will be so big that even a joke can hurt their ego. Something very random can hurt their ego. Something very normal can hurt their ego. And you can't keep pacifying such people all the time. You can't keep massaging their ego all the time. You have to tell them the truth. If you tell them the truth, they don't like it. This is another problem with an able child. If you tell them the truth, they will be extremely hurt. They will act like the whole world has come down crashing onto their heads.
And he also said I wasn't taking my medication, which is so dumb because I've had the same lady every morning for the past 8 years give me my same medication, and I'm nowhere near these stupid people. It made no sense at all. 3 days later, after I said no to Vegas, my therapist sat me down in a room and said he had a million phone calls about how I was not cooperating in rehearsals and I haven't been taking my medication. All of this was false. He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I'd been on for 5 years. And lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to. You can go mentally impaired if you take too much, if you stay on it longer than 5 months. But he put me on that and I felt drunk. I really couldn't even take up for myself. I couldn't even have a conversation with my mom or dad really about anything. I told them I was scared, and my doctor had me on 6 different nurses with this new medication come to my home, stay with me, to monitor me on this new medication, which I never wanted to be on to begin with. There were 6 different nurses in my homes, and they wouldn't let me get in my car to go anywhere for a month. Not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad. After I did the psych test with this lady, basically saying I had failed the test or whatever, I'm sorry, Brittany, you have to listen to your doctors. They are planning to send you to a small home in Beverly Hills to do a small rehab program that we're going to make up for you. You're going to pay $60,000 a month for this. I cried on the phone for an hour, and he loved every minute of it. The control he had over someone as powerful as me. I packed my bags and went to that place. I worked 7 days a week, no days off, which in California, the only similar thing to this is called sex trafficking. Making anyone work against their will, taking all their possessions away, credit card, cash, phone, passport card, and placing them in a home where they work with the people who live with them. They all lived in the house with me, the nurses, the 24/7 security. There was one chef that came there and cooked for me daily during the weekdays. They watched me changed every day naked, morning, noon, and night. my body. I had no privacy door for my room. I gave 8 gallons of blood a week. If I didn't do any of my meetings and work from 8 to 6 at night, which is 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, no days off, I wouldn't be able to see my kids or my boyfriend. I never had a say in my schedule. They always told me I had to do this. And ma'am, I will tell you, sitting in a chair 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, it ain't fun. And especially when you can't walk out the front door. And that's why I'm telling you this again 2 years later. After I've lied and told the whole world I'm okay and I'm happy, it's a lie. I thought I said that enough. Maybe I might become happy because I've been in denial. I've been in shock. I am traumatized. Fake it till you make it. But now I'm telling you the truth, okay? I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry, it's insane, and I'm depressed. I cry every day, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I don't think how the state of California can have all this written in the court documents from the time I showed up and do absolutely nothing, just hire with my money another person to keep my dad on board. Ma'am, my dad and anyone involved in this conservatorship and my management who played a huge role in punishing at me when I said, no, ma'am, they should be in jail.
So though Brittany has found love and she's in a relationship with a man called Sam Asghari, who has been supportive towards her freedom finding revolution that so many people are also supporting her in, the judge in this case has allowed Brittany to hire a new attorney who is going to handle this case again. But the most important thing is that this case helps people to understand that how dangerous some parents can be, how selfish parents can be. It's very important to change the type of education we have on this planet right now, totally based on paperwork, writing, theory, very less of practical. So the type of education people are having right now or going through right now, when they turn into adults, they would be the same. So there's a huge need for changing the education system all over the world. Back in those days in India, in ancient India, and even before the British colonized India, there was the system of gurukuls. All the students used to go to gurukuls. Whether you are a child of a wealthy man or you are a child of a poor man, doesn't matter. You would be going to the same gurukul, you would be wearing the same clothes, you'll be sleeping on the floor, you'll be working in nature, you'll be living in the woods, you'll be learning all about how to grow your food, you'll be a skilled warrior, at the same time a skilled farmer, and at the same time you would be learning how to heal yourself, you would be learning to go within yourself. Mindfulness practices, meditation practices that the gurus teach in the Gurukul. The system of Gurukul used to be amazing back then. And the teachers also look at themselves as someone with responsibility. And in many cases, the teachers did not even have their own children. And by teacher, I mean guru over here. The gurus would not have their own children. If they would have their children, still they would keep the children in same category. No one would be getting more love or less love just because they are a biological offspring of the guru. The parents also need to change big time, because nowadays, due to this materialistic reality, too much narcissism, too much selfishness, a lot of parents don't realize that when they go out to work, when they have so many expenses, hoarding onto things, buying things that put them in the spotlight in their society or wherever they live, when they do all these things, when they leave behind their little babies in play schools or with nannies, not look after them at all, the child misses out on a lot of genuine love. The enabled child has huge possibilities of turning into a narc, because they learn this selfishness from their parents, the adults around them. So a lot of times parents complain that my child left me when I was old, my child doesn't take care of me, my child does not respect me. That's because the child has learned the same selfishness from their parents or the adults around. That it is okay to do so, that it's okay to not care about the elders, And when they see the same elders being very independent, emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially independent. Every human being should be financially independent until and unless they are not monks. Because for monks, they cannot earn any money and they cannot be involved in a vocation or a profession. And a lot of gurus in India, a lot of real masters in India, they were married and some even had children, but they were completely involved in inner work and ascension work, and at the same time they were financially independent. They were not asking other people to give them anything. As a householder, while staying a householder, they were able to do their ascension inner work. So if these type of people have children, they have so much amazing lessons to give to the child, especially the lesson of being independent emotionally, mentally, physically and financially. These 4 things are very important. Otherwise, wounded parents will always create wounded children. They will pass on the same wounds, the same curses, the same difficulties, the same helplessness, the same attitudes, the same negative energy. They will pass it on to their children, and then their children will suffer and they will pass it on to other children. Which is the reason why we need to do inner work right away, so that whether you have your own biological offsprings or not, in the ascension journey, you are able to be a great nurturer, you are able to fulfill your responsibility towards Mother Earth, towards others, all those people who need your help. Another important thing to know is that if you see narcissistic people in the world of social service, be very careful with them, because they could be doing social work or humanitarian causes for the upliftment of their own public or social image. They are not going out there to help people or to take care of people because they really want to do it. They do it because they will get publicity out of it. They will tell all the other people that, hey, I did this, I did that. One thing is sharing what you love, what you want to do is different. But if you're constantly telling the world how much you do, what all you do, we have this very beautiful statement in Hindi language. It's called Neki kar darya mein dal, which means if you do something good, forget about it. Don't talk about it. Don't market yourself using those things. If you are collecting funds from other people, then it's okay. You are marketing your work, or you are marketing your drive, or you are marketing your mission. You are asking for other people to help you. But make sure that all those funds again go in the right place. They are not going into your pocket for your own enjoyment. Now, if you are a serious meditator, a serious ascensioner who is very much devoted in the twin flame journey to make sure that you balance your anima and animus, your masculine and feminine energies, if you're totally focused, then also if you make money, a good part of your money should go to serve other people. These are the things that remove that narcissistic person in you, that selfish person in you. This is also a reason why I tell people to be a little careful when they follow celebrities. Celebrities are not gods. They have their own problems, they have their own issues, they have their own challenges that they are struggling from. A lot of them won't even tell the world how troubled their life is, because they want to show a picture perfect image to other people. Okay? So don't believe everyone. And a lot of people also say this in the spiritual reality, that these things of entertainment, celebrities, musicians, all of these people, they normally project and sell materialistic things. They sell sex, they sell body, they sell products, they sell all the things which are technically of not that big importance. So before we follow any celebrity, we must be very careful. We must do research about their lives. We must know what conditions they are in. And people like Britney Spears, it's good that she is coming out, she's stepping out in the open and telling the world that her life is not what she's singing in the songs. Even though she promotes songs like Toxic or I'm a Slave for You, in reality her biggest pain is that she was considered or treated like a slave. So this is a big learning lesson for a lot of others too. And only when the empaths heal all of their wounds, they will stop attracting false twins and even the narcissistic partners or husbands. Because this is the same energy that they are recreating and manifesting this energy again and again, because the energy still exists. As long as you have those wounds, as long as the wounds haven't healed or dried up, the same things will happen. So if you are falling into the same patterns of relationships, then even you need to understand that why am I attracting all these people? Maybe within me also there is certain amount of toxicity. Within me also there are many flaws that I need to work upon. Maybe I am also acting in a certain way. It could be out of fear also. A lot of divine feminines, they chase the masculine, or they pacify the masculine, or they convince the masculines, because they have a big fear that their true lover is going to neglect them, ignore them, leave them, walk away from them. And if it's a narcissistic partner, then punishment is their best tool. Silent treatment is their best tool. Ignoring a person till they start feeling hopeless, till they start hating themselves. They love to hang their partners in the air. They will never tell clearly what is the problem, and they would never want to clear any misunderstandings. They would use those misunderstandings as a tool of separation. Normally, if a person loves you, cares for you, wants to take care of you, and there is a misunderstanding or a miscommunication, and if you tell them that, look, this is not my intention, this is how I said it, this is what I meant, so they are not going to buy it. They are going to keep fighting over it, like, no, you did not mean this, you did not mean this, you did not mean this, so on and so forth. I'm going to end this session with the same note, that there is always a thin line between everything we do. There's always a middle path to follow. There's always going to be some confusion if you keep listening to too many people's advices. Just follow your master, just follow your path, just follow your inner guidance. Do your inner work, and you can easily heal the abuse caused by NPD disorder or any other disorder also. The abuse that you've gone through, the sexual abuse you've gone through, or the emotional abuse you've gone through. You feel very angry about the number of years you had wasted, or you have wasted because of other people's wrongdoings. But you have to look at the positive side, because it makes you strong, smart, intelligent. You get a lot of lessons, and once you start ascending, once you start seeing the changes in you and in your life, that's when you realize that yes, it is definitely working. So the inner work will work if you learn to surrender and if you learn to let go. And even the best looking partners can be narcissistic, so be very careful about it. And look at the things they do for you as compared to the things they say, because many people can say many things. They can give you hundreds of compliments, they can write so many text messages full of love, but what do they do for you in real life, in action? How much do they understand you? How much do they care for you? Do they have any patience? Do they have an understanding that you have been abused in your previous life? Which is what makes you a little bit scared of making that big commitment, taking that big leap. If they understand all of this, then great. Otherwise, you can continue to work on yourself and know that sooner or later, when the right divine timing happens, things will be clear. Things will be clear, things will be good. And also, all the very best to Britney Spears. I hope she finds her freedom and she gets out of this conservatorship. And then later on also, not just right now, later on also, because it's very much possible that she can fall into this trap once again if she doesn't act carefully or she doesn't take care of herself properly. So on that note, I will sign out from this session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.